Hey guys, Cassandra McClure here. Wanted to show you how to do your eyeshadow when you have lids like mine. They're super transparent, so it's a little dark. You can see the veins. I have even a little birthmark here. There's just a lot going on my lids that doesn't help me look more awake or anything. So I want to share a couple different ways that you can do your eyeshadow in just a few minutes with just a brush and a concealer, one, both, and even with a translucent powder, which I have right here. So I'm going to show you. So what you'll do first is take a little bit of concealer. This is the Touch Pen. This is in Fair. I like to go lighter than my natural color because it helps to brighten, right? It's the same thing with your under eye. And so what you'll do is take your fingers or a brush and work that in using your ring finger, because that is the softest finger to use in this delicate area. The skin is so thin here that all the color starts to tend to show through our veins and even our little broken capillaries. Sometimes we have been rough with our eyes, and even the redness and the darkness from lack of sleep and things really show up, especially on the top, not just the bottom of our eyes. So a lot of times I'll see or hear that people only conceal in the underneath of their eye and not actually on the top. And I think that's a huge mistake. It's definitely worth it. And an urban myth that you shouldn't be applying any sort of concealer. If you think about an eyeshadow primer, that's exactly what it is. It's a light, thicker, sometimes consistency. Sometimes it's very similar to a concealer, and we just put that all over and it helps to blur or erase all of that. And as you can see, I look 5 years more sleep. So this is the translucent powder. And one thing you can do if you don't want to go with any color and you want to go super Game of Thrones, right? You know the rules, Obi. You don't do that or you go to your cage. I just gave you treats, so stop. That's it. Okay, why don't you come lay with Mama? Who's my girl? So just a little bit here. You could use your fingers if you wanted, but it's better to use a brush. And you can just tap all over the lid, and that's going to seal in everything, and it won't have you blinking later and feeling like your lids are sticking together, or when you get a little oilier or a little drier or a little sweaty later in the day, like your lids aren't creasing, right? We don't want any of that. So you do want to set it like so. Now, if you would like to keep it still very natural, you can dip into a eyeshadow palette like this one. This is from Beautycounter. It is a huge palette, but you could go in with Buff, or if you have darker skin tone, you could do Suede. I can get away with both. And if you want to brighten it up, you could do something like Flame, or, do something with a shimmer on the brow bone. So I'm gonna go into Buff because it's super matte and great to work all over my lid, and again, it'll just brighten anything that I want to brighten. Same thing on the other side, and a big fluffy soft brush like this one, this is from Sigma, is great. There's also a couple Beautycounter ones that are awesome too, but it depends on your budget and what you're looking to invest in. I find that when you invest in brushes, they definitely last longer. So you can bump it up now if you would like, but to keep it really natural, you want to usually stay with matte shades. So this is Suede, and it is a matte shade. And to uplift your eye, you'll kind of want to keep the shadow on the outer corner and work it on top of where your natural crease is. If you have a hooded lid and your lid comes down even farther, you still want to go above, and that will help to open your eye. You don't want to bring the color all down here, especially if you have a mono lid you know, or anything like that. Like I feel like my eye space here on my actual eyelid is a little small, so I like to do this method. I'm just gonna do this eye first so you can see what I mean. And I did switch to get a little bit of a smaller brush because I wanted more control. So this is a little bit smaller than this big one that I've been using. But once you get the color where you want it, that's when you can go in and really buff it in, right? So it's just really, really seamless. Do you see the difference? Love it, right? So just again, you kind of almost make a little line, go above the line, just rock back and forth and blend it out. Very simple. And you should be doing this every single time. Blend, blend, blend. Oh, you want a little bit more color. Okay, go back into suede. You know, make a little backward 7 or like an L kind of above your eye going out. You don't want to bring any lines down. You don't want to go out here too far. You want to stay right here. If you need to use tape or something or use your finger and kind of make sure you're not going outside of your eye area, you want to stay pretty straight. You can use anything with a flat surface. So for example, you can do something like this. Okay, I can show you guys a little trick on how to make it even more fun. So now I'll go in with sable, okay? A little bit darker than suede. But if you wanted to bump it up without doing shadow, you can. So you go like this. You get that color where you want it. And it kind of gives you this magic liner. Isn't that cool? A lot of you guys ask me how I get my shadow like this. Now you know the trick. Really, really easy stuff here. All right? Isn't that awesome? Look at how my eye looks lifted. Look at how more awake I look. Look how more put together my entire makeup looks when I do that. This is a great trick. Celebrity makeup artists use this all over the world. And it is, if you start to look it up, you'll see that this is a technique I learned in school back in the day. And it's just, it makes it way faster, you know what I mean? And our eyes aren't always totally symmetrical, so this just helps to bring everything, make everything work. And then, you know, again, you'll want to just buff out any edges. Or not. You can leave it without buffing if you want a really fierce cut in your eye, if you don't want to have it more blended. But this, for me, I like to, even though it's Friday, I still want it to look pretty natural, okay? Isn't that great? Okay, well, that is my eyeshadow tips for today. I hope you guys learned something new. My eye is watering for some reason. Always, I do talk about this a lot, but you can always go in with a brush like this. This is from Beautycounter. I love going in with suede to bring it all together. So, or sable, sorry, the darker color, and going just like this underneath to kind of work my eyeshadow underneath like that. And that's going to kind of bring my whole eye together. And the top eyeshadow will now blend with my, you know, my eye, and kind of bring everything. You see how that works? And you can bring that up too. So now that you have your line, your guideline, you can kind of blend it out as needed. And then if you wanted to do a little eyeliner, you do that. But I like to keep my lids kind of, sometimes I like to just keep them like beautiful and without any liner on top. And so you can do this little trick on the bottom. You can even add an eyeliner. And what I love about this palette, you guys, is that it's so versatile. You can use it to do your eyeshadow too. So if you're in a hurry and you just have your shadow out and you want to make sure, because you do want to, your brows are so important and you want to make sure to brush them out and use a little bit of brow powder or gel or something like that to make sure that you're shaping your brows out so that your eye looks a lot nicer and put together. See how that makes it totally just, it makes you look way more put together. It's kind of like putting on earrings to complete an outfit. I feel like it's very, very critical to do. So I hope you guys learned something new. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here to help. Talk to you guys soon. Happy Friday.